In a world where celebrity romances unfold like public theater, where every move is dissected on social media and every silence speaks volumes, few stories hit the heart quite like this one. Iman Shumpert, NBA champion, entertainer, and once one half of one of the most beloved couples in Black Hollywood, reportedly made a move recently that has fans, bloggers, and relationship experts alike reeling. He picked up the phone, he called Teyana Taylor, and in what was supposed to be a heartfelt, maybe even redemptive moment, he never got the chance to speak. Because someone else answered, someone unexpected. According to sources close to the situation, the man on the other end of the line wasn't Teyana. It was Aaron, her new man, and what did he do? He listened just long enough to hear a man's voice, and then, with no drama, no conversation, and no hesitation, he hung up the phone. 1 second, one click, and one statement without a single word spoken. This wasn't just a phone call. It was closure, rejection, and a message all in one. And for those who have followed Iman and Teyana's love story from its high points to its heartbreaking unraveling, this was more than just tea. It was a turning point. Before we get to that fateful phone call, we have to rewind. Iman Shumpert and Teyana Taylor were not just any couple. They were a cultural moment. From the minute their relationship went public, fans were enamored with their chemistry. They weren't just in love, they were locked in. Whether they were dancing on stage together, showing off their family life with their daughter Junie, or appearing in fashion shoots, they embodied a kind of black love that felt real, grounded, and unshakable. Their 2016 wedding was a fairy tale. Intimate, stylish, raw. They weren't performing for anyone. They loved each other publicly, yes, but also authentically. And their love-inspired songs, music videos, and brand campaigns. Iman was often seen supporting Teyana's music career, while she was in the stands during his NBA games and public appearances. It felt like a partnership in the truest sense of the word. People admired them for what they built. Through ups and downs, including early struggles in their relationship, they always came back to each other. They overcame rumors, the weight of the spotlight, and even co-parented with maturity. For years, they were the blueprint for modern celebrity love. But somewhere along the line, something shifted. As the years rolled on, fans began to notice the signs. First, it was subtle. Fewer Instagram posts featuring each other. Then came solo red carpet appearances, vague captions, and long periods where their usually public expressions of love seemed to go quiet. At first, many hoped it was just distance due to work, a busy schedule, or a conscious choice to keep their love life private. But silence, in the age of oversharing, often speaks louder than declarations. By late 2023, the writing was on the wall. Reports surfaced of a quiet separation, with both parties focusing on themselves. While there was no messy fallout or dramatic cheating allegations, at least publicly, it was clear that the two had grown apart. Still, many fans held on to hope. This was Iman and Teyana, after all. If anyone could bounce back, it was them. But Teyana, ever the artist and powerhouse, had begun to glow differently. She was posting more about her creative projects, smiling in ways that seemed freer, and appearing with a man fans soon came to identify as Aaron. The rumored new relationship didn't cause a media frenzy at first. Teyana kept things quiet, but Aaron was around, supportive, steady, private, and as we would soon learn, fiercely protective. That brings us to the phone call. According to sources close to Iman, he'd been wrestling with emotions for weeks. Seeing Teyana from afar, glowing, living, and thriving without him, stirred something inside him. Maybe it was regret, maybe nostalgia, maybe the realization that he had let go of something sacred and couldn't get it back. So he called her. It was late, the kind of late where reflection feels deeper and mistakes feel heavier. A man reportedly dialed Teyana's number, expecting either a chance to speak or at least to leave a heartfelt message. But instead of her voice, it was Aaron who picked up. Calm, collected, in control. And that's when it happened. Aaron didn't argue. He didn't ask who it was. He didn't give Iman a second to explain. He recognized the voice, and then, click, the call was over. Now let's be clear. A hang-up may seem small, maybe even petty to some. But in this context, it was profound. Aaron didn't just end a call. He ended a chapter. His action was deliberate and clear. You had your time. This space is no longer yours. It's rare to see such a sharp, clean boundary drawn in celebrity love triangles. Usually, there's messiness, subtweets, interviews, back and forth drama. But Aaron chose silence, precision, finality. That hang-up told Iman everything he needed to know, and nothing he wanted to hear. And for Teyana, it was likely a protective move. Aaron didn't just answer the phone. He protected her peace. That call could have opened old wounds. Instead, it was ended before the damage could even begin. Let's talk about Iman. For years, he was the romantic hero in this story. The husband who celebrated his wife, who fathered their children with love and care, and who supported her dreams. He was more than a basketball player. He was a creative, a man in tune with his partner's energy. But love evolves, and sometimes we don't realize what we had until it's gone. Iman's decision to call Teyana wasn't just a stunt. It was a moment of emotional honesty. But emotional honesty doesn't guarantee a response. In fact, sometimes it meets a wall, or in this case, a hang-up. And while fans may sympathize with Iman, it's also a lesson. Not every apology or longing deserves an answer, especially when the other person has already found peace. Throughout all of this, Teyana Taylor has maintained radio silence. No posts, no interviews, no subtle digs. And that silence, it's louder than any press statement could be. Teyana doesn't owe anyone an explanation. She's living, she's growing. And for the first time in a long time, she's doing it without having to explain her emotional labor to the world. That in itself is powerful. Aaron isn't just a rebound. He's a man who knows how to keep things steady. And while Teyana hasn't confirmed the relationship publicly, the message is clear. She's done with the past, and she's moved on. Social media exploded when the rumor hit. Memes flooded timelines. Iman looking stunned with captions like, "When you call and realize you got replaced." One TikTok recreated the scene with dramatic music and a fake dial tone. Twitter threads debated who was right, who was wrong, and whether Aaron did too much or just enough. Some praised Aaron as a real one. Others said Iman deserved a chance to speak. And then there were those who just laughed, calling it a modern-day rom-com gone wrong. But underneath the jokes, there was truth. This was a story about closure. And sometimes, closure doesn't look like what we want. Sometimes, it's just a silent dial tone. So where does everyone go from here? For Iman, this may be the wake-up call he didn't expect. A moment that forces real reflection. A chance to redefine who he is without Teyana, not just as an ex, but as a man still evolving. He's still young, still talented, still capable of love. But for now, the past must remain the past. For Teyana, it's more proof that she's walking in her power. She's focused on her children, her art, and her peace. And if Aaron continues to hold space for her like this, the public may soon embrace him just as fiercely as they once did Iman. In the end, this story isn't just about a phone call. It's about timing, about boundaries, about the realization that not all love stories are meant to circle back. Sometimes the most respectful thing you can do for someone you once loved is to let them go completely. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do when someone calls is to know when not to answer. What do you think? Should Aaron have handled it differently? Was Iman out of line or just being human? And is Teyana finally in the chapter she always deserved? Drop your thoughts in the comments.